What if everything you think you know about building muscle is wrong? What if the real secret to Olympia-level growth isn't spending countless hours in the gym, but pushing yourself to the absolute edge for just one single set? For decades, this question has locked bodybuilders in a debate between two of the most brutal training philosophies in history. In one corner, you have the six-time Mr. Olympia, Dorian Yates, and his gritty blood and guts system. In the other, the revolutionary philosopher of fitness, Mike Mentzer, and his heavy-duty protocol. One champ used a 4-day split built around recovery. The other used a 2-workout split built on pure, unadulterated intensity. We're putting these legendary protocols head-to-head to see which one is the true king of muscle growth. By the end of this, you'll know the core of both systems and have a better idea of which high-intensity path could be the right one for you. The titans of intensity. Before we get into the reps and sets, you have to understand the men behind the methods. Mike Mentzer was a true force of nature in the late 70s, an iconoclast who looked at the bodybuilding status quo and said, "You're doing it wrong." Heavily influenced by Nautilus machine inventor Arthur Jones, Mentzer championed a radical new idea, high-intensity training, or HIT. He believed the establishment, with its marathon 6-day-a-week workouts, was completely misguided. For Mentzer, intensity, not volume, was the only real trigger for muscle growth. His heavy-duty system was the philosophy brought to life. Workouts that were brutally brief, unbelievably intense, and almost maddeningly infrequent. Then, from the gritty industrial city of Birmingham, England, came a different kind of animal, Dorian Yates. While his competition was training under the sunny skies of California, Yates was building his Olympia-winning physique in the shadows of his own temple gym. He was also a student of Arthur Jones, and, you guessed it, Mike Mentzer. Yates actually trained with Mentzer a few times, and he later called those sessions some of the most brutal of his entire life. It was Mentzer who helped convince Yates to cut back to just one all-out working set per exercise. But Yates wasn't a copycat. He was an innovator who took the core ideas of HIT and forged them in the fires of competition, creating a practical system that earned him 6 straight Sandow trophies and kicked off the mass monster era, the philosophical divide. At their core, Yates and Mentzer were on the same page about one crucial thing. To stimulate growth, you must train to momentary muscular failure. That last, agonizing rep, the one you can barely finish, is what signals your body to get bigger and stronger. They both hated what Dorian called junk volume, those endless half-hearted sets and reps that don't push you to your limit. But this is where their paths split, creating a genuine schism in the church of high intensity. The conflict wasn't about if you should train hard, but how. How much work is enough? How little is too little? And the big one, how much recovery does your body really need to grow? Mentzer became the purist, the philosopher king of intensity, pushing the theory to its absolute logical extreme. Yates became the pragmatist, the general on the front lines, adapting that theory to the bloody reality of becoming the undisputed best in the world. The heavy-duty manifesto, Mike Mentzer. To understand heavy-duty, you have to appreciate its ruthless logic. Mentzer argued that if one set taken to total failure is what triggers growth, then doing a second or third set isn't just a waste of time, it's counterproductive. You're just digging a deeper hole for your body's recovery systems with no added benefit. His solution was shocking to the bodybuilding world. Incredibly short workouts, minimal exercises, and long rest periods. A classic Mentzer routine was a 2 or 3 workout split. For example, day 1 might be chest and back, day 2 legs, and day 3 shoulders and arms. The real kicker, though, was the frequency. Early on, he might have you train every 48 hours, but as his ideas evolved, he argued for more and more rest, sometimes telling clients to wait 4 to 7 days, or even longer between workouts. He reasoned that you weren't just recovering the muscle, you were recovering your entire central nervous system from the profound stress of true to-the-limit intensity. A heavy-duty chest workout could be as simple as 1 set of dumbbell flies, followed immediately by 1 set of incline presses. That's a technique called pre-exhaustion, designed to fry the pecs even faster, and that's it. 2 working sets for the entire chest. The goal was to hit failure in the 6 to 10 rep range, often using forced reps or negatives to go beyond it. It was a precise, calculated, and almost intellectual way to build a body. Blood and guts, Dorian Yates's evolution. Dorian Yates took Mentzer's philosophy and turned it into a battle plan. His blood and guts style was less a rigid theory and more a practical application of what it took to build one of the most dominant physiques ever. He fully embraced the one all-out working set idea, but his definition was a bit different. For Dorian, that one working set is the grand finale after several progressively heavier warm-up sets. These warm-ups weren't taken to failure, they got the muscle firing, grooved the movement, and prepared his body for the all-out war to come. His split was also more structured and frequent than what Mentzer later preached. Yates followed a 4-day split, training each muscle group roughly once a week. Common layout: Day 1, shoulders, triceps, abs. Day 2, back and rear, delts. Day 3, rest. Day 4, chest, biceps, abs. Day 5, legs. Day 6, rest. This allowed for more total exercises per week than Mentzer's system, but the volume was still incredibly low compared to his peers. A blood and guts chest and bicep workout might be incline barbell press, dumbbell flies, and cable crossovers for chest. Then maybe concentration curls and barbell curls for biceps, each for only one gut-busting set to failure. It was a system built on brutal effort, smart structure, and planned recovery, a champion's blueprint. So you've got two roads to the same destination. There's Mentzer's logical, ultra-infrequent approach, and then there's Yates' structured, battle-tested 4-day split. Which philosophy hits home for you? Are you a heavy-duty purist or a blood and guts warrior? Drop a comment below and let me know. The head-to-head breakdown. Let's stack them up across the key variables for muscle growth. Intensity. This is where they're practically twins. Both philosophies are built on a foundation of 100% absolute intensity. That one main working set is taken to and beyond failure. It's their shared DNA. Volume. Here's the first clear difference. Mentzer is the undisputed king of low volume. Some of his later routines had as few as 5 to 7 total working sets in an entire workout. Yates, while still a low volume guy, had a slightly higher total volume, simply because his 4-day split included more exercises over the week. Frequency. This is their biggest disagreement. Yates trained each muscle group roughly once a week, following a predictable schedule. Mentzer's protocol became radically infrequent, with clients sometimes waiting a week or more between sessions to ensure complete systemic recovery. Both men knew recovery was critical, but they saw it differently. For Yates, recovery was scheduled, with rest days built right into his training week. For Mentzer, recovery was the main event. You only earned the right to train again once you were fully recovered, however long that took. His approach was more fluid and instinctual. The verdict: which protocol reigns supreme? So, who's the true king of muscle growth? The boring answer is, it depends. The real answer is that the best protocol is the one that's best for you. Mike Mentzer's heavy duty is the purest form of high-intensity theory. It could be perfect for a classic hard gainer, someone with poor recovery, or a person with very limited time who is drawn to its sheer efficiency. It demands an almost superhuman ability to generate insane intensity on just a handful of sets and the discipline to trust the process while you're out of the gym. Dorian Yates' blood and guts is the battle-proven evolution of that theory. It's a better fit for a more advanced athlete who's already built a solid strength base and can handle a bit more work. Its structured 4-day split is more familiar and, frankly, psychologically easier for most people to stick with than Mentzer's super infrequent schedule. It's the system that owned the Mr. Olympia stage for 6 straight years, and that speaks for itself. In the end, the legacies of both Dorian Yates and Mike Mentzer teach us the same powerful lesson. Intensity is the spark that ignites growth. Whether you walk the path of the philosopher with heavy duty or the path of the warrior with blood and guts, the rule is the same. Train with ferocious purpose. Push past what you think is your limit, and then give your body the fuel and rest it needs to rebuild. One set, done with everything you've got, can be worth more than 20 half-hearted ones. If you enjoyed this breakdown of bodybuilding history and science, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got a lot more deep dives into the legends of the sport coming your way. Thanks for watching.